Hi and welcome. I'm Ilana King. I'm an entrance exam specialist and I teach other tutors who would like to also be entrance exam specialists. And in my videos on my YouTube channel, I like to show you really fun, practical ideas you can use in your sessions when you're trying to teach a particular skill. And today I want to talk about vocabulary. It can be really tedious learning lists and lists of words, and there's a lot of challenging vocabulary on the entrance exams. So I want to show you a really fun way of bringing vocabulary practice into your sessions. And all it requires is words and dice. Now, I'm going to show you how I do it in an online session, but you can obviously do this as well in person. So I'm just showing you now my whiteboard of choice, which is a bit paper that I use, but you can use anything. So the idea of this game is that you have some words ready and you can either have those words just on a list for yourself, or you can make some cards where, you can flip the next card and there's a vocabulary word on it. There's lots of different ways of doing it. But the idea is that the student rolls the dice, and depending on what they roll, they have to do something different for that word. So if they roll a 1, they're going to have to define the word. If they roll a 2, they'll use it in a sentence. If they roll a 3, they've got to come up with a synonym. If they roll a 4, they come up with an antonym. If they roll a 5, they draw it, which is always fun. And my personal favorite, if they roll a 6, they act it out. I love that. So I use an online dice. So I've got this one here. You can find them online. When you click it, it rolls. You can use a real dice as well, entirely up to you. So you would have the word ready, and it's going to vary enormously depending on your student, what words you use. And if you're working with 7+ students, you can easily do this 7+, 8+ with easier words, and for 11+ with harder words. So just from my 11+ list here, I've got the word vein. So imagine I had given that word vein, or I had turned that word over on my card, and I roll the dice and I get a 1. One kind of boring, you're just going to define it, okay? So that's all you do for the word. But if you roll something, see if I can actually roll something. I'm not going to roll anything interesting, am I? Let's see. But I like the idea of drawing it, or of acting it out. So depending on what you roll on the dice, that's what you're going to do. The acting it out is particularly fun. And what's really important in this game, of course, is to take part yourself, not just the student. Take turns, because they're going to like nothing more than to see you get silly and having to act out a word. If I was going to act out vein, I'd be like strutting around the room and kind of showing myself, looking in the mirror, and and doing this. And what student isn't going to love that, right? So it's great for doing silly things. I'm terrible at drawing, absolutely awful. So if I got the draw it on mine, there's no chance that they'd be able to work out what I'm drawing. You can add an extra element to this game that's really fun by making it a guessing game. So there's really 2 ways of doing it. You can just do this, right? So everybody sees the word. You both see the word up. The word is vein. Okay. What are you going to do with that word? Or the other person doesn't see the word. Almost like a game of charades, okay? So, if I picked the word vein and I'm not telling my student what's on my card, and I rolled the dice and I had to act it out, they've got to guess the word. Or if I've given a synonym, they've got to guess the word. And I think that's a fun added dimension to it. It's a little bit trickier. So depending on the student that you're working with, you'll have to decide, but you've got that possibility. And same for them. They're going to either give an antonym or synonym or use it in a sentence. Actually, if they use it in a sentence, that you're already going to know what the word is. But if it's any of the others, you could do it as a guessing. So there's different ways of doing it. I think it's a really fun activity to just bring that extra bit of excitement into learning these sort of tedious words. And you can set it for homework as well. I really like to set games for homework, because sometimes homework is just really dull. So you can set this for homework, absolutely, and get a child to play it with a parent or whoever that they're going to play it with. I think it's equally fun to do as a homework task. That's it. So, I hope this is something that you feel that you can use in your sessions. And if you do, I'd love to know how it went. You can always leave me a message here, or drop me a line through one of my other channels.